everyone, my name's Jade and I'm a third-year PhD sociology student, and this video is about socialism. To be honest, even though I used to study Marxism, I've never completely understood what socialism is. It's one of those words like identity politics or intersectionality that people like to throw around a lot but never actually define. Not to mention, the confusion around what socialism is only augmented by the fact that the countries that we tend to identify as socialists usually aren't, like China or Russia. I thus asked a friend of mine who identifies as a Marxist feminist to tell me what she thinks socialism is, and she gave me a definition that I thought made a lot of sense. She defined socialism as democratic representation in a state-controlled economy, whereby the control of the economy is organized around population need rather than capitalist accumulation. So using her definition, we can break socialism down into three important facets. The first is that a socialist economy is state-controlled. In a state-controlled economy, the distribution of wealth and resources is determined by the state, opposed to, for instance, free market competition, which is the case in modern neoliberal capitalist societies like Canada and America. However, unlike state-controlled capitalism, which is what we see in China or what we saw in circa 1970s pre-neoliberal Canada, whereby the state regulates the production of capital to the benefit of a globalized market economy, a state-controlled socialist economy is regulated based on the needs of the general population. This is the second facet of socialism, that the production and distribution of capital is controlled according to population need. So we see elements of this being incorporated into socialist-leaning countries like Canada or Sweden. Universal healthcare is a good example of this. The point of the government regulating healthcare isn't to make money, but to grant people access to the resources that they need to ensure their health and well-being. Now, since Canada and Sweden are still largely capitalist societies, especially Canada, which is a neoliberal state, the ways in which these countries execute free healthcare is still not completely socialist. But compared to places like the States, healthcare is far less privatized and thus more accessible. The last facet of a socialist economy is democratic representation. In order for a country to be considered socialist, everyday people have to have a say in how the relations of production are being organized and ran. Basically, you can't have a socialist economy with a totalitarian government, even if your economy is state-controlled according to population need. This is why many people argue that the Soviet Union wasn't socialist. They didn't have democratic representation. Understood in this way, clearly what lies at the heart of socialism is the desired liberation for all. Socialism imagines a new world order organized around democratic representation and population need, and not the exploitation and subjugation of particular groups, as it visions a revolution forged around the eradication of all oppressions, and the subsequent emergence of a freer, more just society. So that's my video on socialism. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see similar videos, please subscribe to my channel. See you later!